Okay, everyone, welcome back. It's 10:30 where I am in Australia, and we'll get started on track B, which is focused on real-world implementations of Global Alliance standards, focusing in the Asia Pacific and beyond. So first of all, I wanted to make sure you all know about a very important implementation arm of the Global Alliance for Genomics in Health, which is the Genomics in Health Implementation Forum. And we had a great two-day meeting last week, attended by over 200 representatives of various large-scale genomic organisations and initiatives. So the goal of GHIF is to support the implementation and development of Global Alliance standards. But what we've found is that it also has many other benefits. It allows us to share our best practices, our challenges, and opportunities for solutions to the technical, regulatory, clinical, and education challenges that we all face. It's been great for identifying areas of collaboration and how we can share the resources, the expertise, and the tools that we're all developing as we're implementing genomics into clinical practice. And what you'll hear about today as well is we've identified a number of areas for global data sharing, and with a particular focus of sharing across national borders and using large-scale cohorts. So the GIF actually arose from what was initially called the National Initiatives, chaired by Mark Caulfield and myself in collaboration with the Global Alliance. And we started way back in Vancouver in 2016, and then associated with each of the major plenaries of the Global Alliance, we've had a combination of both working and plenary meetings. This year, we recognised that as so many different national initiatives and other large-scale genomics initiatives are using Global Alliance standards, there was a need to formalise this group as it grows. It started with a number of the driver projects of the Global Alliance, and we now have over 21 member organisations and are very open to and really encouraging you all to join into this really wonderful community that's all looking at the implementation of genomics, particularly into clinical care. If you could, I'll just go back, sorry about that, I've got a trigger finger. So the why of GIF is to ensure that the standards that we're developing fit the needs across all the multiple initiatives in different countries, in different continents, and also the different healthcare systems, from whole of country systems such as the NHS to what we face in Australia, which is a federation across our different states. We're really aiming to increase global membership. Our goal is to have all countries involved eventually, so that we've really got a Google genome where we can all be sharing information and querying our different databases across all the different countries. So we're really encouraging diverse input. This is also a great way to scale the incorporation of genomic standards and the various inputs globally. Because we really need to be plugging in to what are happening, what initiatives are happening at scale, so that we can really make them as universal as possible. It's also a great way to interact with the Global Alliance work streams, so that you can tell them what are the standards or the tools that you need, and we can respond to that directly. So we've heard a bit about the Global Alliance ecosystem, but really quite amazing now with over 600 organisational members across multiple countries. 90 countries. We have over 3,000 subscribers, and that's growing daily. We have 24 driver projects, 8 different work streams that are addressing all different technical, regulatory, and security standards that are required for us to be able to share data. We've heard today already about the great video that really outlines how these standards fit together. We've developed policies and frameworks that really cross national and international borders. And we're really looking now at how we can enable this to form an integrated and global learning health system. You've also seen today the great implementation going from the data donor, from the patient, and from participants within the community, right through to all of the different standards and linkages that are required so that this information can be shared globally for the benefits of human health and the individual. And along the way, what we have underlying this learning health system and learning research system are the various standards that are being developed around the Global Alliance. And again, we'll be sharing on the website the video that shows how all of these link together. And I certainly will be sharing that very widely within Australia, because it really does take down to the practicalities of what the Global Alliance is all about. So how does GHIF fit in with the Global Alliance? On the left-hand side of this screen, you see all the various work streams from discovery to cloud to genomic knowledge standards, regulatory and ethics and security. But really, now that we've got such a mature and maturing array of standards that can be applied, it's very important that we're now getting out there and engaging and partnering across both the different major global initiatives in genomics and data sharing, as well as industry, large institution, large-scale sequencing initiatives, and outreach to users at an individual level. And so this is the purpose of GHIF, and it's been chaired over the last few years by myself and Mark Caulfield from Genomics England. Current GHIF members are shown on this screen, and we're encouraging increase in membership, and you'll have ready access through our website and through regular newsletters about the resources that are available. Becoming a GHIF member is very easy. There's a short form with criteria, but it's basically looking at organisational members of the Global Alliance, what your initiative is doing so that we can start to tailor the information that we bring to you, and also an initial snapshot of what technical standards or policy frameworks your organisation is adopting. But also very importantly, what we as a Global Alliance community can do to help. And so there's a link to this on the website through the community tab, but we're also developing a more mature GHIF website as part of the Global Alliance website. The benefits I've already alluded to, but with the formal membership, you'll have ready access to these on a regular basis, as well as updates and webinars. What we're also doing is creating a toolbox, not just of the Global Alliance standards and the links to the toolkits and how to implement them locally, but also this broader national and international learning that we're constantly adding to in terms of consent and education tools, technical data tools, media and engagement, particularly how we deal with positive and negative press around genomics and the experiences there, and particularly clinical tools of how we're interfacing this into clinical practice. So just as examples, and this is how we're building this website, there'll be different links in terms of educational material, health economic data that you can use for advocacy to your governments to invest in genomics, as well as relevant publications. From the clinical perspective, a number of the national initiatives have developed large arrays of clinical data sets, so that, for example, if you're presented with a child with epilepsy, what's the minimal clinical data set that is needed so that as you're sending your order form into the laboratory, they have all the information that they need to interpret that genome. And we're also continually refining these and learning from each other in terms of what to include. There are also a number of handy tools. I think we all recognise the hand-drawn pedigree on the right, But now with tools that have been developed using FHIR and REDCap, you can now record these in a machine readable form. So this year didn't quite turn out as we expected. We were planning to have a face-to-face meeting of the official launch of GHIF in Frankfurt in March. And then I was just thinking we're all meant to be hosting you here in Melbourne right this week, where I'm currently sitting at home in lockdown, as luckily the case numbers are coming down. So COVID is really, I mean, we've always had virtual meetings for the Global Alliance, but that's really been the basis of where we are at the moment. And that's had its advantages too, as we see a wider reach. But I must say we are looking forward to the time when we can all come together and share our experiences and have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. At the virtual meeting that we held in March, we also did a survey of all the various initiatives that were joining us and looking at the areas of focus in terms of what types of genomic information were being gathered and the data types that were being collected. Not surprisingly, rare disease and cancer are currently the most common areas of focus, but also so many of the large genomics initiatives are developing their infrastructure. And that's really where Global Alliance can have a very valuable input in terms of the safe and secure storage of data, as well as its interpretation and analysis. So in this meeting for the GIF that we had last week, we had over 280 registrants across multiple countries. Again, that meeting is available on the web for you, and also gives some great exemplars of how Global Alliance tools are being implemented into practice. And we'll touch on that also today. So we're now moving into a couple of talks which are really going to focus on how different countries in the Asia Pacific are implementing genomic standards into their practice. And we're going to hear from both the Genomic Medical Alliance from Japan and from Australian Genomics.